welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Chapter 4 of the Agency. This episode is a special bonus episode and will occur slightly out of the general timeline. So we are currently back in the UK. So you're currently in the Agency headquarters.
Is that London?
Yes, it is London. Yes. And so Keith, who's kind of the section manager there, you've met before. So he kind of rushes in and he goes, you two. Yes. I don't know if you've met our if you've met Chip before. But we've got an urgent assignment for the three of you. It's very time sensitive. I'll just go grab your gear. If you haven't met each other, now is the time for introductions. I will be right back.
Okay, so you see a young man walk through the door, early 20s, 22, 23 kind of age. He's got a piece of toast hanging out of his mouth with what looks like some kind of a marmalade on it. And he is dressed kind of sloppily, with like an oversized hoodie on. And he's looking a little bit dazed. And he's just like, ooh. Sorry, did he say I was going with you?
Apparently.
Yes.
Chip, was it?
Yeah.
Alright.
Welcome aboard.
So I've been maintaining your equipment for a while now. It's I don't know how you managed to get it into the state that it's in when it comes back here and needs repairing, and I wish I wasn't going to find out.
Yeah, fair enough.
You are aware of what you do, right?
Yes.
Surely a fried circuit board here or there is not too unusual.
No.
He was probably talking about the blood splatters.
There was
Safe
some
water,
kind
my
of
friends.
splatter.
Safe and water.
I'm not a field agent. I'm meant to be
Well, you are
packed.
now, so get used to it.
Congrats on the promotion.
Keith re-enters holding, draped over his arm, three very industrial-looking hazmat suits. They've got the respirators on the back, and they're kind of bright blue in colour. And he goes, "Right, you three, we haven't got long. I need you to change into these outfits. Very, very important for your health. And then if you will join me down the corridor, I will show you where we're going."
What are such?
What are such? What? Sorry.
What are the equipment looking like?
So they are. So it's a sealed. It's a sealed suit. It looks like it's either designed to protect the wearer from hazardous material or radioactive substances. Yeah, they're sealed. They've got contained breathing units.
Sure.
They're not so oversized that you'll have any real penalty moving about or using your fingers and things like that.
But it's more hazmat than clean room.
Yes. Apologies. Yes. This looks like it's designed to protect the wearer rather than protect the room that you're entering. Assuming you put those on.
Well, as I'm putting them on, it's like, sorry, I didn't actually catch both of your names.
Simon.
Well, you've been looking after the equipment for that long.
I'd started off as an external contractor.
Right, and then you saw some weird shit and got pulled in. I'm sorry for your loss. Lucas, how's it going? Right,
This one of your clean jobs? Have you patched a few of these up in your time?
It's more the respirator type thing. I've fiddled with some of those before. Yeah, this might be one of mine. Maybe
So
it's just like Power Wash Simulator. just like Power Wash Simulator. Yeah. Yeah.
So he takes you, he escorts you to a lift, and it goes down 10 basement levels all the way down to the bottom. And he swipes his key card and it opens a secure room, and then a little bit like a radiographer's room, in the sense that there's like a shielded control room, and then inside you see the symbol for radiation, and in the center, sat on the table, is a smallish cube. You could probably hold it in one hand, and there are a series of different machines. One of them is active, and this is the one that's got the radioactive symbol on it, and it's being pointed directly at the cube. And like shining a light into a prism, coming out the other side is a portal, and you can just about make out kind of like a deserty landscape going on through the other side. And Keith says, "Look, we've just made a breakthrough with the cube. We don't know how long we can hold this open for, so we need you to go in. This is just a quick recce. Tell us about the world. Get in, get out."
Yeah, we have something a bit more autonomous and something we don't really care about losing if you can't keep this portal open.
And this is where he gets a little bit sheepish at this point. He goes, "Yes, the radiation levels are interfering with our abilities to control any kind of robotic automaton on the other side. So by our estimates, we can keep the portal open for 1, maybe 2 hours. If it collapses, in theory, we should be able to open it up. We've done it previously with other emitters, but we ideally want to recover you before the portal closes again."
So what's the cube? What's that place?
Well,
Right.
the cube was basically like the Tesseract. Watched Marvel at all? No? Never mind.
So this is incredibly confidential, but you've been with us for a little while now. I will trust you with this. This is an artifact that we discovered, and we found that exposing it to different frequencies of energy seems to be able to open gateways to other locations, and we're very curious to see what's on the other side in each of them. We've just
How
had
many have you opened up so far?
4.
What happened to the people who went into the other ones?
Some of them, well, I mean, they all came back.
How many are still alive?
Okay, so make a persuasion check for me, please, at this
Could I make
stage.
an intimidation check instead?
Yeah, why not? Because so this is a contested, so it's against whatever he's rolled.
Okay. And what's the attribute?
So that is
Persuasion
going.
plus what?
So are you doing persuasion?
Mm-hmm.
So let's go presence, I think, for persuasion, and then it's manipulation for intimidation.
3 successes from my end.
3 successes.
I will just fully take a big step towards him.
Yeah. Oh, that's a beautiful roll.
Only 1 success, though.
So, Joe, you're currently rolling secretly, but that's fine because you've told me out loud.
I'm rolling with regular dice. That's not me, I think.
Okay. That's fine.
Oh, that was me testing earlier, yeah.
So, yeah, because you've all succeeded, yeah, he's in a rush and his guards are down. He didn't get any successes. So some of them have come back perfectly fine. Some team members were lost and had to be recovered later on. But that's because the things living on the other side were not exactly friendly. Given the radiation levels, we don't actually expect anything to be alive on the other side.
So this is a different location.
All the others have been different from one another, yes. So we assume the same is true here.
I want those incident reports from the other missions when I get back.
This may sound like a silly question.
Yep.
Have they all pointed to other locations on Earth?
Ain't that sweet?
Yeah.
No, they have not. Yes. That's why we're really excited to find out what's on the other side of this one, and time is very much of the urgency here. I appreciate that we're asking a lot, and fine. In exchange for going through the portal, I will reveal the remaining incident reports from the other locations for you. Is that an agreeable compromise?
Well, as in when we get back?
When you get back, I will unclassify for your eyes the instant reports from the other locations that have been visited.
Why don't you tell us now? Because that way, if we don't make it, then you've not lost anything.
Well, fine. I will unclassify them now, but you won't be able to read them until you get back. There simply isn't. I don't know how long this portal will remain open for.
Do we get hazard pay at all?
The hazard pay is the information. Yeah. Is there anything else that you want?
Can I bring a drone with me?
You are welcome to try. All of the electronic drones that we have attempted to bring through have failed.
I'll try.
How far an excursion into the place you want? Just hop through, or
see if there's anything of note.
Any signs of civilization through there?
Any sign of civilization? If you could identify if this is Earth as well, that would be beneficial.
Or when?
Yeah. Maybe take a few soil samples or something. But we're really interested in the first-hand experience.
Of course you are.
You ever have a guinea pig as a pet when you were a kid, Chip?
No. I just like fiddling with things.
Well, you'd feel a lot closer to it the longer you work here. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Before we go through, gone.
I was gonna say, okay, just give me a minute, and I'm gonna grab a drone and I'm gonna do a quick bit of tinkering with it to try and make it a little bit more resilient to what I presume to be the radiation effects on the other side.
Sure thing. Give me a. So you're attempting to. You've only got about a minute to try and make these. So can I have a crafting check, please? Given the time pressure, that'll be -2.
Okay, that's intelligence, yes.
Yes.
Okay, but because I've got a specialization, it's only a -1.
That
4 successes.
Yeah, God damn it. Okay, so
I imagine that's how many minutes it will run before it dies.
So you've made some tinkerings. It appears that it will work for at least a period of time within not only will it work, but you'll also be able to remotely control it as well.
Just not just wrapping it in tinfoil as alpha radiation shielding.
Yeah. And was there another question?
Yeah, so as towards the end of him finishing his drone work, I will point at a tool in his toolbox that he's very clearly not using. Go, are you using that? And before he says anything, I will grab it and I will chuck it through the portal.
Okay.
No, I need that to... never mind.
So
I'd have given you a grenade if you wanted it.
So what? 2 questions. Was it electronic and was it on?
No, it was like a screwdriver or a wrench,
cool.
something like that. I just want to see what happens to it.
So you see it land on the dirt. So imagine the portal is almost like a window. You beyond, say, 40-50 meters, things get very blurry and distorted, but you can see it land within a meter of this window, and it appears to be unaffected.
So, like in the Western Wilds campaign, we had that portal that was basically 2 points of space that you can just walk through. When it hits that threshold, does anything happen, or does it just look like it's carried on through?
It
Or
looks
did
like
it?
it's just carried on through.
Okay.
Any more questions before you step through? No.
Fine.
Okay. So as you step through, you for the briefest of seconds you get a high level of vertigo and nausea, but then it quickly dissipates, and at the same time, like your peripherals, because whereas the window it was quite blurry, once you've stepped through, you've now got a fuller lay of the land, and it is it's a relatively barren landscape. There are mechanical remains. There are bones from very large creatures. There's there's water, but it looks irradiated and toxic. I think it goes without saying that the Geiger meter that you carry with you has gone nuts. This is a highly radioactive environment. Your suits will keep you safe for so you've got enough air for 3 hours. Your suits will keep you safe for that long. However, if you take them off, you will be exposed to lethal levels of radiation. It's obviously
Great.
your choice. So there are, while there are a lot of ruins, there is something that looks relatively intact. Sorry, that's kind of sitting sort of carved into the mountain face, and there appears to be a giant mechanical construction lying nearby.
Does the mechanical construction look like it's moving, or
No,
is there
no,
any
no,
sign
no,
of
no.
life to it?
There's no, so the mechanical construction is like a ginormous mech effectively, but you can kind of see that there's like a gigantic sword that's been shoved through its central. It is inactive.
If I turn around and look at the portal, what do I see?
So you can see, you can see again. It gets blurry quite quickly, but you can see the sterile floor of like the agency clean room.
I'll grab the tool and I'll chuck it back through.
Yeah, and it clatters.
That's going to be super radioactive, and I'm not sorry you did that. Fuck 'em.
Yeah,
Right.
that was my tool though.
We'll buy you a new one.
You can still use it. You just need to wear a suit.
Yeah, I want to go check out the big mecha.
Okay.
Don't know what you two are planning on doing, but
Can I? Is there like high ground around here anywhere?
I will actually break out the drone and try and get an aerial view of what's
Okay,
going
cool.
on.
So it's relatively flat. So the nearest high ground is that kind of mountainous region. But you can kind of look around. So can I have perception checks, and then accept.
Do you want the perception hidden?
Yeah, why not? Let's have that secret. And then can I have?
Blind GM roll.
Yes. And then for you, Chip, can I have the driving dex check, please? Just to see. And the successes that you get on your dex driving will be added to your perception check.
Excellent.
Oh, sorry, did you want perception?
Yeah, if you're having a little. Okay.
Possibly I should have rolled that hidden. Sorry.
No. Because that one you're more in control of. Whereas the perception, I like it hidden because you don't know what you don't know. Whereas.
Did that work?
Yep. So, okay. So, adding on to the drone bonuses, there is like metal remnants of vast cities that look to be that you can spot miles and miles away in the distance. But something awful has happened. Like they are ruins. There's no way they could support life. you can hear. So the drone picks up the faintest of audio, and it is appears to be an explosion of some description, but that would be. You get the impression that that could be hundreds of miles away, but that is how loud it is. So it's unlikely that you will reach it, but there is definitely a war still raging on in some description.
How far away is the mech thing?
So the mech is about a tenth of a mile. It's quite close. You can like the mech and the bunker are the only reachable landmarks that you can see.
Right, let's go.
So, as you can see from the picture, it is. So
We
obviously
can't
the
see
person-
anything in this current scene.
Can you not? Well, that's not.
There's a
very-
lot of green.
Oh, because I haven't unticked that. Can you see that now?
Ah,
Yes.
Oh.
So, ignore the level of greenery,
Yeah.
and obviously the person stood on it, although that's good for scale. But this is a ginormous battle mech that is humanoid. There is a massive sword that's been ruptured through, presumably its power core.
Does there appear to be anything special about the place where the portal formed here?
So
Has it formed in machinery or something, or is it just in midair?
So the portal has appeared almost at ground level. Is there anything? So there is insufficient information to know what the cube is and how it works.
But like, it's not come on top of like a teleportation pad here.
Oh no, not at all.
The architecture, does it look like the same as the cube?
No, it is radically different.
And is it human looking?
It's humanoid.
So
Is
it's
there any-
sized for someone about the size of a human.
No. The mech is massive.
No, but like the buildings and stuff around, do they look like
I
they
see. Yes. Yeah.
look like they're approximately human looking?
Yes.
is there any inscriptions anywhere? Is it
So
English or?
it's not English. There are so there's some odd lettering that you can see that they might be serial numbers on the giant mech, but they are not in a language that you recognise.
How many,
I'm going to take a quick photo of those.
Yeah, sure thing.
How many fingers does the mech have?
So it will have it has 6 fingers.
Riddle's
3
gonna
per
be
hand?
fucking pissed he missed
No,
this.
no. Sorry, it's got 5 fingers and a thumb per hand.
Riddle's gonna be annoyed he missed this.
Yeah, there was this manga I once read where there was this whole thing about this alternate world and how humans were hampered because we only had 5 fingers, so we counted in base 10 rather than base 12, which you don't care. Never mind.
How far away is the bunker entrance, you say?
So again, it's incredibly close. So it looks hidden, whereas this thing obviously fell fighting something else. This is slightly more hidden into the mountainside, but again less, about a tenth of the mile again. So I'll activate the. Wait, can you see that? Or
No, you do not own any token with vision in this scene.
Yeah, working on it. There you go. How about that?
Yep. See
Right.
that?
Um,
So if we
I
are going
presume-
away to the bunker, you'll see that Chip is reluctant to leave the mech because he wants it.
I presume it doesn't have the Space Nazi logo on the building there.
no, it does not have that logo on there. If anything, it is devoid of a lot of logos. It looks like it was designed to be camouflaged against. It's kind of painted to match the mountainous.
I'm going to try and quickly grab as many soil samples,
Of course. Yep.
like anything that looks like it might once have been vegetation, any kind of
Sure thing.
Yeah.
I would like to get a piece of the giant mech, like just a small plate, so we could
Yeah.
do a metallurgical analysis on it later.
Okay. Can I have a can that be a crafting check, please?
Of
To
course.
see how successful or how quickly, more importantly, you were able to dismantle a piece of it.
Is that intelligence and crafts again,
Uh,
or would you say
yes.
wits?
I'll accept wits. Yeah, probably more wits because you're thinking on your feet. Because you're looking for bits that are easy to pry off and or
Alas, sure.
Could I roll to assist in any way? I can't remember how helping works.
Yeah, so I don't think you roll if you're going to assist. You can add +3 to the dice pool.
Okay, I'll add 3 to the dice pool.
What am I looking for? And then do whatever he says.
Yeah. Cool.
2
So-
successes. Yeah.
You are able to retrieve a piece of the armor that appears to have fallen off, but a lot of the circuitry appears to either have fused with the exoskeleton or is too badly damaged to retrieve. But you at least have a piece of the metal. Ditto, the soil samples I'm not going to make you roll for because that should not be a check that you can fail. So.
If I just dig through the soil a bit, I'm not finding any kind of like extremophile life forms.
You'll have to remind me what extremophile is.
Something adapted to extreme environments, like
No.
Yeah.
So
Mutant evil cockroaches.
how?
Yeah.
That's a good question though. How deep are you digging?
maybe a foot down,
Let me just.
because I won't just want to get soil samples from the surface. I want to get them from further down as well.
Oh, that's a really good roll. Okay, so you find skeletal remains.
Them
Um,
of
so
humanoids.
yeah, humanoid.
We've got bodies.
Yeah, but what's your what check would this come under?
Would you like a roll?
Yeah, because you're trying to identify what possibly either intelligence and medicine.
Yep.
Or I would if you're trying to find out what it is, then intelligence and medicine. I would say. I would.
I
also
can
allow
give that a roll.
intelligence and investigation as well.
Intelligence investigation?
Yes.
And I'll do intelligence and medicine.
Cool.
Hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. 3 successes.
Very good.
Bear with me.
That's all right.
Extra one. No.
do
So
you mean-
yeah, three successes from me.
Cool. And do I mean what? Sorry.
Literal skeletal, or do you mean decomposing?
Skeletal remains. So with a 3, I think you got, yeah. So
Because
Um,
in a high radiation environment, things wouldn't decompose except chemically.
yeah. So the skeleton shows signs of heat damage. If you had to guess, because you can't be 100% sure, but it was exposed to a
Nuclear blast.
highly hot source for a very brief period of time, and then there was nothing left to start decomposing the skeletal remains. The top level of soil almost appears to be ash.
Big
remains-
lasers, maybe?
Yeah, so the
Youth.
remains are they're close to human, but there are slight structural differences.
Like?
So they appear to be slightly taller. The rib cage appears to be slightly bigger, as if there were more like
organs.
yeah, like they contained more on the inside, effectively.
What about fingers? Is it like the six
No,
digits?
curiously, only 5.
Mike, these have been the one was the invader, one was the defender, or something. Different species. If I crack a rib, just like crack it with my boot,
Yep.
is there marrow inside? How long have they been here?
So they have been here. So I don't know how marrow investigation works, but they've probably been here for maybe 50 years.
50 years.
50.
Okay, so I'm going to try and gather up. I'm not going to bother identifying which bits belong to what.
Yeah.
I'm going to gather them all up. Because even if we can't get DNA, we could get enough DNA to work out how many like base pairs and how many chromosomes they have.
Cool.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Right. Sai, anything you want to say? Okay. Bunker.
Cool. So as you approach the bunker, so the doors are sealed, but there's a control panel about big enough for a hand, and there's a very, very dim light kind of indicating that it's still active.
Does it look like the exterior has taken damage?
Yes. It looks like it has been hit with a massive blast of energy, but actually has remained relatively intact. This was built to withstand.
I have got another question. The buildings around that have been knocked down and ruined, are they? Is there a blast radius pattern? Are they pushed away from a central point? Like there's been a physical explosion?
If there's been a physical explosion, there's been more than one.
But like, what I'm talking about is like a laser or energy-based weapon that wouldn't show like concussive force. It looks like there's been bombs dropped here.
It looks like. Good question. So it. Can I have a? Let's go intelligence investigation. I'm almost tempted to allow you to have your crime scene bonus in this.
I wouldn't say no.
I'm going to allow it because I don't think that's the spirit of it, but this technically is a crime scene.
A war crime scene.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good, Mike. So it's 5 successes before I do any rerolls.
Oh, lovely. Perfect. I was hoping
that's
you
a
would
crit.
do well.
Yeah, that is 7 successes.
So, to answer all of your questions, the answer is yes. It has been hit. It has been bombed multiple times. There have been orbital weapons. There have been giant creatures battling. This has been a sustained battlefield for an incredibly long time.
So I can see like the overlay of different strikes that
Yes.
have happened over time. Yeah.
So this area has been quiet for a little while. Whether that's a year or a decade, it's a little bit difficult to tell. The fighting is currently not occurring here, but a fierce fighting has almost obliterated everything in this region, except for this building that appears to have been designed to withstand even the harshest.
Does it look like this was below the ground and then the ground's been blasted away from it?
No.
It's armoured.
It's heavily armored, but also it's not very. It seems to have worked as if it was an extension of the mountainside. So,
Sure.
it appears to have used because it's not just standing upright. It's kind of tried to redirect a lot of the energy up the mountain. If that makes
Use the
sense.
terrain to its advantage.
Yes.
Right. Okay. This the door's closed on it next to this glowing pad.
It is. Yes.
I'll tap the pad.
So if you tap it, it will flash red, and then a palm print outline will appear, and again you get the strange you get the strange lettering.
And how many digits does this palm print have? The 5?
5.
God, it's like this is just so much like an anime or a game or something. I volunteer to not go first.
I'll put my hand on the thing.
Okay, so it reads it, and then a message pops up, which again you're unable to understand. But the door, you can hear the hiss as the doors open.
Depressurizes.
Yes. Where is it?
I don't want to get him into trouble, but are we saying this thing worked through the hazmat suit?
Yes. And
That's what I was. That was my question as well.
yes, and there is a reason for that.
Because it's scanning for the number of digits.
It's a good question. But yes, it works through the hazmat suits.
Okay,
Could I make a
roll
guess
by
as to why?
Sure.
I mean, could I roll to try and figure out why?
Oh, I see. Intelligence and computers, I guess. Possibly intelligence and occult, because
You had my curiosity. Now you have my attention.
yeah.
I need more dice than that.
2 successes.
Ooh! That is 3 zeros, an 8 and a 9.
And what role is that for? Intelligence and computers? Or
Intelligence and occult.
Intelligence and occult.
I was expecting to do computers, not a cult.
5 successes.
5 seconds. Okay. So Simon and Chip, did you both roll computers, or did you do
A
occult?
cult.
Occult. Okay. So, So, from an occult point of view, this is beyond your understanding. You know that you don't know, and technology sufficiently advanced will appear as magic.
Arthur C. Clarke.
With a critical success, you presume, because you don't know for sure because you don't know this tech, but you're reasonably confident that it did not require you didn't have to physically touch it. It was able to scan in some way. So,
how big does this place look like in terms of from the outside?
it looks relatively small from the outside.
Like the size of a house, for example, or
smaller than that. You get the impression that this is an entrance, that this is an airlock to something.
But we can't see the rest of the size of it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So this might be the entire iceberg, or this might be the tip of the iceberg.
Okay, we go in, sweep for living beings first. You see a hostile, you shoot. You ask questions later. You got a Chip?
Mm-hmm.
Good man. Let's go.
2 seconds. The cat is sat on my notes.
Mine
okay.
too.
So as you enter, kind of an industrial-looking sort of entrance hall. So there's lights and there's signs of life. There are signposts. They're written in a language that you don't understand. You don't even recognize it. It's not like Russian characters where you were like, I guess that this would be the Russian language, but I don't know what it says. This is completely alien to you. There are.
It's like how Cyrillic and Latin alphabets have some overlap, but then you look at Arabic or Cantonese or Korean, and it's so different as to be unrecognizable. Yeah.
So there are. There's a dim level of power. Have you all gone inside? Is going to be my first question.
I will have gone straight in, whether other ones have.
So there'll be something else, but yeah. So it looks it looks slightly dirty, but there's not a pile of ash. There aren't dead bodies everywhere. Um, there are signs pointing. So the signs and the complex seems to lead into the mountains. This thing has been built into the mountain range. And there are signs that direct you either straight ahead, to the left, or to the right.
You said there were signs of life. What did you mean by that?
Signs of electrical life. Sorry.
Ah. Okay.
As in, like, there's a low, like,
Sure.
there are flashing red lights, and then there's small, like, there are other forms of like side illuminations, kind of from the. Can everyone see that picture first of all?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. So like the side lights, there, so they're giving off a faint glow, and there are also red flashing lights.
But not that.
No. Sorry. Yeah, that's the best picture I could find. Apologies.
That's...
But
you
yeah,
have to
My
check.
life exactly trying to find pictures for immortal sites.
yeah.
The inside of Ark Sankora was a screenshot from Stargate Atlantis, put it that way. Is there anything sort of portable that has the writing on it? Is it like scraps of paper, slates, anything?
Not in this section, no.
And are there the piled up bodies that are in the background in that
no,
one?
please, yeah, please. When I first looked at the picture, it was a lot smaller, and I just thought that was rubbish. But now that I'm looking at it on the zoomed out screen, I'm like, that is a pile of dead bodies. Yeah,
A bit corpsey.
there are not a pile of dead bodies.
Okay. Does it look like there's only one entrance from this airlock?
What, to get back out?
No, to go inwards. There's like
to go in.
Two, right?
You've got three, so you can either go straight ahead, or you can kind of. So straight ahead is a bit of a corridor, and there are doors further ahead. To the left, you can kind of see through, so there's like a medical area of some description, and then to your right, there's kind of like a workshop, I guess would be the best description for it. And there are, like, you can see, like, there's a couple of glowing pads on there, but beyond that, there's nothing else that's immediately jumping out at you.
Now that we're inside, what's the radiation level like?
So that's what I was waiting for. So once the doors close, the radiation level drops, not to non-lethal levels, but
less lethal levels.
yeah. So the level of radiation is probably halved. So it offers significant shielding, but if anything is alive in this section, they will be highly radiated.
Great. Okay, stop at the med bay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be taking photos of things along the way as well. Presumably we also have body cams. Presumably those have shorted out by now.
They've shorted out
photos won't they be radiation blanked as well though?
Yeah. So and then any camera that you attempt to use, your drone which you've hardened will be able to get some shots in, but not many. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's
perfect.
the inside of Project Doris.
So there are a lot of odd vials of fluid, and several mechanical arms that have needles. There's also a computer system lying on the workbench. There's an odd-looking crystal. There's in one of the chairs there is the putrefied remains of a humanoid being.
Is that gooier than the ones outside?
Yeah, so whereas before you just found a skeleton, this still has some flesh left on it. You get the impression that they are partially decomposed. So, and they're kind of just lying in one of the medical exam chairs.
How is Chip dealing with this?
If you look at his face, you can see him just going.
Well, you did wonder where all the goo came from.
Chip, just try and pick up some tech, see if you can get any of those vials or something.
Yep.
I'm going to go take tissue samples.
I do not want to go anywhere near that decomposing thing.
Sai, cover me,
Of course.
just in case it springs to life.
Cool.
I do not want my suit getting wrecked.
Yeah. So, as you approach it, can I have a? So I'll give you this for free. It's definitely dead. And
Yep.
It's not gonna leap out at you. Can I have a medicine check, please?
Is that with intelligence?
Yes, it will be.
Oh, you do spoil me.
What's the penalty if you have nothing in medicine?
Is that an intelligence stat?
It'll be -3.
-3.
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. So, while this thing is not a traditional human, your best approximation is that they have died of acute radiation sickness and have begun putrefying. But then even the bacteria and organisms responsible for putrefaction have then
Died,
off,
yeah.
but they survived long enough in a shielded area to at least
Die of radiation poisoning.
yeah.
Would that we were all so lucky.
If you listen very closely, you can hear Chip just saying, "Strawberry jam, that'd be nice." Oh, that orange marmalade earlier was lovely.
Cool.
Maybe I get some pickled onions when I get back.
Chip, what are you doing?
He is investigating the tech
The
and
tech.
seeing if
So-
there is anything that can be salvaged. Like he'd probably look at the computer bank,
Yep.
and presumably it's not in any language that is recognizable.
It is not. What about the crystal on the table?
He'll give that an inspection.
Define inspection.
Lick it.
Okay, he will start by observing it,
Mm-hmm.
noting any geometric shapes or patterns.
It's relatively uniform. It's I can't remember. It's small at the top and bottom, and then it comes and it's widest in the middle. So it's
So it doesn't
like
look like it's meant to be held, or it's not meant to be a handheld thing.
that.
Like there's no obvious handhold for it.
There's no obvious but so it's flattened in the middle. So it's widest in the middle, and then it's thin to a point. It was manufactured. It doesn't look naturally occurring.
Okay, and it's not got any grooves or anything where where something slots into it, or no blemishes or marks where it has been slotted into something regularly.
Can you make me an investigation check?
I can indeed. Intelligence and investigation.
Yes, please.
Ooh. Well, it's not a chance dice, which is a good thing.
Nothing obvious that you can spot.
I may reshuffle some of his skill points before next session.
Can I investigate the medical side of things? Like how well stocked is it? Does it look like it's been like, almost empty, fully stocked, somewhere in between?
So there are the majority there are giant tanks that look like they were once full. They appear to be mostly empty. There are still. I'm trying to think how best to describe it. So imagine mechanical arms, and there's like a vial attached to them, but then the tubes link to a much larger tank. So there's liquid within the pen needle thing. My brain stopped working, but the main tanks, the main vats, look almost depleted.
The injectors still have some in the
Yes.
reservoir, but yeah.
Precisely.
Okay, so Chip's
Is
going to
that-
go. Ooh, sorry, go on.
Is there any non-robotic medicine in this room? Does it look like it's all powered through a robot, or is there like a supply of bandages or that sort of thing?
Can you make me an investigation check, please?
Sure. 1 second.
Of course. Chip. Well.
Okay,
what
so
are you doing?
Chip is going to go into his. Oh, Rich is actually rolling.
Okay.
So I presume that he can still hear as he's just had to step away.
Yes, I will assume so as well. Ah, it's coming back. Cool. Okay, so no, there aren't any. So you find that on the no, there wouldn't. So no, you do notice like a little dispensary. You think it might be an equivalent, but there's nothing like if there are supplies somewhere, they're not within obvious sight. They might be dispensed from this machine, but without knowing the language, you would not be able to get it to do anything. Chip.
Okay, so Chip's going to go into his pack of tools
Mm-hmm.
and going to pull out something grabby,
Yeah, sure thing.
like like a kind of like a set of pliers but bigger.
Mm-hmm.
That he's just going to go and grip the end of the crystal with.
Okay, cool. So as it makes contact, it lights up, and you are ever so briefly blinded with a blue light that seems to rise from your feet all the way up to the top. Cool, that's absolutely fine. And you see, so it scans you, and then you hear the words from the crystal scan complete. No, not words. So around the side it says scan complete.
In English.
In English. New language uploaded. Welcome architect.
If you look round after the blue light, you just see Chip there with the pair of pliers just like frozen.
You alright
If
over
it
there?
was meant to kill you, you'd be dead.
Cool.
Can I ask, how long have we been in this place? Like, I guarantee you that Lucas has like an analog watch, like gear
Yes.
and wind one.
So not. So you've made somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes.
Cool. Yeah.
So it will take you about 10 minutes to get back to the portal.
Right.
Well, good news is that the computer should now speak in English.
As you say computer, the screen lights up and you see the alien text, and it then translates into English, and you see the words Zomil Systems,
You absolute motherfucker.
and then it says welcome architect.
How dare you? How dare you, sir?
See, this means I need to shoehorn some Marshall bullshit into Pathfinder now. Apparently, that's the done thing.
You know this is a possibility, Joe.
I didn't. Not even
Wow.
slightly. But it does make it quite funny that I went
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
beginning of
Yeah, I was like, you called it right from the beginning, but yeah, this was partially my emergency session and partially my Joe's having a bad day session. Like, if you're having a bad day, I'd bring this out to boost you up. So
Oh.
there you go. But yes, it says Zomil Systems, welcome user. State the nature of your medical emergency.
What is this place?
2 seconds. So Project Axery.
What
And the way, so it's all 2 seconds. So it's not talking, it's all just text. So
Oh, okay. Sorry, that was my assumption.
and it is spelt like that.
That's interesting. Is there like a keyboard?
No. No, there wouldn't be.
What are the input sort of devices for this then?
So as far as you can tell, it's audio based.
Oh, so we can talk to it, but its responses are coming on display.
It's coming on display. Yes.
Okay. What year is it?
So, 2 seconds. For this one, databank's corrupted. Please state the nature of your medical emergency.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
Is this Earth?
Databank's corrupted. Please state the nature of your medical emergency.
Radiation poisoning.
And then one of the mechanical arms will swing down, and a needle will come towards you and you see a mixture being mixed together, which turns kind of bright purple. And the needle comes towards you.
Cancel.
Yeah.
Cancel procedure.
Yeah. And then it will pop up with a message: consent withdrawn, treatment cancelled.
We require medical supplies for a long journey.
Okay. And at the dispensary, you see it light up, and then you see it print off like a small pack that kind of almost like a drinks dispenser. It drops like a small medical pack that seems to contain. There's a couple of bright-looking fluids, some bandages, a couple of injectors.
And it's just 3D printed this whole thing.
It has just 3D printed the whole thing.
Do you see that? It just 3D printed the whole thing. This is amazing.
What species is that in the chair?
Patient human.
I knew it was that. We're in the fucking future. This is what happens after the fucking agency goes bullshit.
What was the date of your last procedure?
Databank's corrupted.
Who is your manufacturer?
And it will say manufacturer Zomil Systems.
Okay. Have any of you heard of any kind of Zomil Systems?
No, it's probably one of the Chinese undercover Black Ops ones.
Right.
Where are we? Like, geographically, what city are we in? I bet it's going to be Beijing.
So, Databank's corrupted. Please seek the servitor for more information.
Where do we find the servitor?
The servitor is located, and then it will pop up with a map. So you are located. So it shows four areas. So you've got medical, and then workshops next to it, and then below it you've got sleeping quarters, labs, and then right at the bottom is the servitor.
Can you scan this room?
And it'll say scanning, and the crystal will emit a bright blue light that this time encompasses the whole room, and then it goes scan complete.
This facility have any? Oh, sorry.
I don't know if you can see this. He waves the Geiger counter around. We can't do much with this. Do you know what radiation is?
And it goes, yeah. Radiation levels extreme. Seek immediate medical assistance.
Can you do anything about it here to make this area more survivable?
Facility control. The facility is controlled by the servitor.
Can you just double check what rooms did it say are in this place?
So you've got workshops, medical, labs, sleeping area, and then servitor.
Are there any other humans here within your sensor range?
It will scan and it goes 2.5 humans detected. Critical injuries on all.
To clarify, the sum is 2.5. Is there 2 and a 0.5? Or have we got some like 0.8s in there?
There are 3 entities. 2 have been detected as critically injured humans. The third is a critically injured half-human.
Which one?
Unable to clarify.
Is that...
Which room are they located in?
Medical bay.
That's a get out of my sword. Which one of you is a half-human?
My assault rifle is fully shouldered at this point. I think the easiest way to sum this up is, Si, if you'd take one step out the door, and we'll ask what room it's in.
Steps out of the room.
And runs.
Close. Locks the door.
Yeah.
So
Which
what-
room?
Which question is it that you're asking?
Which room the demi-human is in?
Medical bay.
Okay. Chip, would you swap with Simon out there, please?
Sure. Chip steps out.
What room?
Main entrance.
Dead, Ryan.
Please don't kill my new character. This one wasn't meant to be killed.
So here's the thing. After the whole Chet business, what precisely defines him as partially human?
Is Chip back in the room for this question?
That's a chip question.
Well, I mean, are you asking that before Chip comes back in?
Yes.
Because Chip's not going to come back in until you call him back in.
Yeah.
Chip's outside being a good boy.
So, it will then say unable to release patient info without consent.
Chip, get in here.
Okay,
Say I consent.
I consent.
Right, answer the question.
Okay, so human DNA detected, non-human human DNA detected, ratio approximately 50%, and then another thing will go, warning, missing organs detected from all 3 patients.
Chip will go,
What?
50%? What?
What is the DNA of the other kind?
Unknown.
Do I look normal to you? I haven't gone green or anything, have I? Through the visor?
Does the half-human possess organs that the other 2 humans do not possess?
Negative.
Does it have less organs than the 2 humans possess?
Negative.
What makes it different?
DNA does not match.
Does not match what?
Does not match the template for human. This may be because unknown DNA is present, or due to corruption with the scanner, or an unknown factor. Please speak to the medical attendant for further information.
You are the medical attendant.
Clarification. The medical attendant is dead. Please request a new medical attendant.
You know what DNA is, right?
Who are you asking?
The computer, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, the computer. Sorry. Yeah, and it will then list a very detailed scientific article on DNA.
Chip is very quietly trying not to have a panic attack in the corner.
I don't know about what you know, but where we come from, we've mapped quite a lot of that DNA. What does the extra DNA that this guy have? What does it do?
Unknown. There is unable to quantify. For clarification, the base DNA is human. Additional non-human DNA detected.
Is he got a tapeworm or something? Like, will the computer say that it is part of the same organism? There's not like 2 organisms and it's reading them separately.
It's unable to quantify.
Are you carrying any pets, Ryan?
Just my drone, which is mechanical, has no biological components to it.
I think we better go and see this servitor, whoever they are.
When you equipped up to go on this mission, did you take any weaponry with you?
I've got a single pistol.
Sword at throat point. Weapons, please.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll sort of gesture with the rifle. You're going first, mate.
Okay.
Don't get any ideas about praising anyone.
Why would I? Oh, the check thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you head? So you ignore the other 3 rooms and head straight.
For now, I think, yeah.
Yeah. That's
I,
absolutely...
just to actually one last point of clarification. Your scanner machine it scanned the entire facility and only 2.5 life forms, or only 2.5 life forms within this small range.
2.5 life forms detected within scanner range.
Does scanner range encompass the entire facility?
Scanner range should encompass entire facility. scanner range inhibited by radiation levels.
Okay, in that case, I think maybe you want to like clear some of the rooms on the way down.
Certainly sweeping clear for
Yeah.
Okay.
Could I maybe then ask that I'm not going first? Like, you can keep me at sword point or at gunpoint, but just don't send me unarmed first into the room that might have the scary monsters in it.
You got him?
Please?
Sure.
Thank you.
I will clear the other rooms for
Okay.
danger.
So there's I will whiz through them very quickly. There are no life forms that you can see. So there is a series of workbenches, and there's a whole bunch of weapons and armor that is laid out. And
Oh, I'm getting me a gun from the future.
they are so as the crystal comes close, it then translates the writing, and it bears the mark of Project Doralus on all of the weapons and armor.
Is there anything that looks like a conventional firearm?
There are, there's you've got sidearms and assault weapons. There are also some interesting looking hilts of what possibly once were energy weapons, although they appear to have been either disassembled or in a state of repair one way or another.
I'm filling me a big bag.
Sure thing.
I will, if I can, say, oh, you might want to grab that. I'm not going to touch anything. Not going to touch anything, but you might want to grab one of those as well. And maybe one of those. And just, helping point out some choice bits of kit that I would like to play with later, but not while I'm under suspicion.
Is there any kind of roll I could make to try and find the most intact stuff?
Yeah. So if you're attempting to do this quickly, it will be it'll be an investigation check for sure.
Yep.
It feels more wits and investigation because you're trying to do it quickly, I guess.
Could I make an argument for wits and crafts?
Once you get to repairing the weapons, you absolutely can. If you're going to, no, you're not looking, you're pointing them out, right? Fine, wits and crafts, and then your number will affect.
Lucas.
Lucas.
Okay, and would you say my electronics specialty comes into this?
No.
That is fair enough.
Yeah, these, as far as you can tell, are not electrical weapons. Cool. So you can have an extra 2 dice to your roll there, Lucas.
So add 2 dice to my roll rather than to my successes.
Yes.
That is.
Wait, that rolled twice for some reason.
Yeah.
And the first one was 4 successes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Not to be a.
No. I thought I saw more zeros in there.
Yeah. I definitely saw way too many dice. I was a bit confused for a second there.
Okay.
That is 6 successes.
Okay, so that's already a critical success. So you will get what appear to be good quality, and you get a broad range of weapons and armor.
Yeah.
That is something I will have to sort out later.
Well, Chip is also going to be pointing out interesting bits of tech that could be used to modify other equipment, like our EKG scanner or whatever it is, the scanners and things that we have, EMF meters and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You will get a range of technology. There are also certain audio logs that you will be able to download that you can play back a little bit later
on. Sure.
So if you stay here, you can play them back, but you've got them with you so that you can play them back later after you've done a sweep, etc., etc.
I'd also like to, if I can, point out maybe though any wrist-mounted control devices or tablets or anything like that, which are presumably going to be much more powerful than the stuff that we have access to. Specifically to make
Minecraft, all the better.
Yeah. So
specifically, I'm looking for kit to make that shield we talked about, Mike.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. You'll have a selection of bits. Let me say. Yeah. Tech. Yeah. That's fine. Okay. Cool. I have made a note of that, and I will. I will sort that out later as to what that exactly does and how you'll be able to use that. So. That is absolutely fine. You come to sleeping quarters. There's a few audio logs, which you can download, but there's no one. There's no these beds look untouched. Like they've obviously been slept in, but not recently.
We find any more decomposing bodies in any of these rooms?
No, there is no one else. So, the sleeping quarters looked like it could have housed at least 20 people in one go, but there are no signs of anyone else. So you've got a lab, and there is so here you have got, so the computers are more damaged here, and there is a giant pod in the center, and it once again bears the mark of Project Axery. And then finally you get the servitor.
In that, I'm assuming everything is tech based. There's no like papers or notepads or anything like that.
So in that last room there were there would have you find that there are not papers, there are several data slates, but there's also some physical slates, and engraved on it are very short goodbyes that have kind of been chiseled into the
Are those
slate.
translated by the...
They are translated by the crystal. They read things like forgive us for what we've done, we tried our best, may mercy favor us because the gods sure don't.
Okay.
And then as you enter the final room, the crystal hums again, and once again the computer screen, Zomiel Systems. Welcome back, architects.
Why'd
Is
you
an
call
actual
us
voice
architects?
saying this?
It's an actual voice this time.
Why'd you call us architects?
That is the designation that you have given yourselves, architects. You have built all of this. How can I assist you today?
Wait, do you think we built this place?
You're kind. I note that you appear to be missing several vital organs. I recommend seeking urgent medical attention.
How long ago was this place built?
It has been 300 years.
Where are we?
We are located in the northeast peninsula, architect.
Of where?
Of forgive me, I
Volan?
want to say Kalimdor. Is it Kalimdor?
No, Volan?
Volan, sorry.
Poland, Ulster, the Traveled, Antara.
I'm going to
Yeah.
say Voland.
What other names was that known by in history? And it won't give us China or India or anything that Lucas is thinking. Yeah.
Ooh. What planet is this? I believe the answer is Talam.
Thank you, because I had forgotten. Talam, architect.
What's the planetary radius of Talam?
And it will give the planet.
It will give about 2/3 of the size of Earth.
Cool. Thank you.
Because I definitely have that in my actual goddamn fucking notes. I spent a whole lunchtime at work working out the relative gravity once and how big the iron core would have to be.
Okay.
The Aurora Borealis on Talam is hella. Yeah.
Aurora Borealis.
This is
When
nerd.
was the
No,
last time you made
okay.
contact with anyone?
Architect, it has been 50 cycles since I awoke someone to make urgent repairs on the facility. They have left them incomplete.
Awoke someone.
Confirmed.
How many people are sleeping?
Approximately 2,789.
Where are they asleep?
Classified.
Okay.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Okay, where is this Talam place in relation to Earth?
Unknown designation. Please re-clarify. What is Earth?
Solar system, 1 yellow sun, technically 8 planets.
Fuck off, it's 9.
Unknown.
They only declassified Pluto because they didn't want people to find out about the Nazi moon base there.
Well, but if Pluto's a planet, it wouldn't be a moon base.
Do you have
Architect.
records of other solar systems?
This designation, records are not kept at this facility as it was deemed irrelevant.
Okay, where did the humans come from before they were here?
They came from across Talam to attempt to preserve the culture, based from Axi-Re protocols.
You know, I'm
What's the
starting to
fact?
think this might not be the future.
What are the Axidy protocols?
After the failure of Project Doralus, it was a last resort to preserve the culture and survivability of the race.
This is human extinction, lads.
Confirmed. The war of worship has gone poorly for the humans.
War against who?
Worshipping what?
The gods.
Richard knows this is a foolish question. How many gods are there?
Unable to clarify. Recent battle data has not been uploaded.
Based on the most recent.
Unable to. Yes. Unable to answer question because
Memory bank's corrupted, I guess.
Yeah.
Are they still
Your
around?
medical thing upstairs said that one of us isn't human.
So there were two questions at one. So Rich, I think, got in just before you. So
No,
what
no,
was
go,
your
go,
question again? Sorry, Rich.
Are they still around? Is there an immediate threat?
Please clarify. They.
Gods. Whatever war you're losing.
The outside data is no longer available. Based on predictive models, the battle mechs may have survived up to this point, which means that the gods are likely still on Talam. If you have not encountered any, then you may be lucky. And then what was the other question?
Your medical thing said that one of us isn't fully human.
Um,
You want to explain that?
That can either occur due to the corruption of sensors due to high levels of radiation, or if you are a mixed species.
I mean, a mixed species.
So, if you were a crossbreed between two different species, you would appear as only 50% human.
But your medical system didn't know what the other 50% was.
The other 50% is not within the databanks, either due to corruption or it not existing within the database.
So he was born this way.
Or maybe it's
Unknown,
Maybelline?
placed and unavailable.
Sorry, I was trying to make a joke and...
Your medical friend also said that you could make the environment in here more hospitable to us. Remove some of this radiation.
Confirmed. I can indeed do that. Unfortunately, there is the existing power issues. You need to rectify the power issues before I can restore life support to the upper functions of the base.
So we do that.
There is one of the external access panels has been damaged in a during a radiant beam attack. You will need to reattach the terminal or divert power from the cryogenics facility.
Could I ask an out-of-character question?
Yeah.
Is this Aditer after the hit of Alornus' wrath?
He said northeastern peninsula.
More
So,
Mercantile then.
I am not going to say at this point because
That's
there's
fair. That's fair.
Out of character, I would assume not, because Alondra's lance turned everything to glass.
Glass, yeah.
yes.
Do you have any awareness of the outside?
Negative. To remain secret, all external communication was severed.
Can you give us some schematics on how to repair the external panel to then allow the internal area to be...
Of course, architect, and it will bring up a schematic.
Okay, I'm going to study it and identify how to repair it.
Hmm.
Are you able to interface with our technology? And I gesture at the body cam.
This is unfamiliar and primitive technology that appears to have been destroyed by radiation damage. Define
Unrepairable? Recover data.
recover data. Possible, but not this base's primary function.
In that case, Simon, instead of getting it firsthand, will describe the cube that we used to get here and see if it recognizes it.
Cube is not located within the database. It matches no known description of human or celestial being.
So you don't know how we got here.
Uh, You were born here, Architect.
Travelled today.
Unknown query.
How we travelled here today, you don't know that.
Unknown
Can't see
query.
outside.
How did you travel here today, Architect?
Via the cube.
New information added. Architect, you arrived here today by cube.
How long is it going to take to repair the damage?
Unknown. External sensors offline. Extent of damage unknown.
Could I make an estimate based on the based on the extent of damage and what is required to do the fix?
So you would have to physically inspect it. It would be, you can attempt to repair. You may be able to get it done within an hour, but it could also take up to 5 hours of work.
Okay, so it could take only an hour to fix. It could take 5. We don't have that much time.
No.
How long do you think we've been here already?
I will give an estimate as best as I can to my mechanical watch.
About 35 to 40 minutes. Query accepted, Architect. Then you have a tough decision. There is insufficient power to supply all cryogenic pods for the foreseen duration of the combat. Please select which cryogenic pods to divert power from in the event of power failure.
If we decide not to fix it, are you going to wake someone else up?
Confirmed. I will attempt to reawake a member until the repair is finished. Calculating chances. 0% chance of success.
Because as soon as they wake up, they're going to get bathed in
levels
radiation.
are too high. It is then foreseeable that I will not wake everyone up, but instead choose randomly which cryogenic pods to disable. This is against the primary function and is likely to render a CPU overload and core shutdown, resulting in deaths of all architects.
Okay, I know I said it would take too long to fix. I've got to try and fix it. I can't let thousands of people die.
And then it will bring up a list, and it basically says, please choose which section to shut down power. And it will list section 1 is military militia, section 2 is architects, section 3 is builders, section 4 is breeders, section 5 children, section 6 guardians, and section 7 elders.
Look, we're at the end of time. We're at the end of the planet. Wherever the fuck humanity ended up, that's where we are.
I don't think this is the future. I don't think these are humans as we know them.
I think this is what happens if the void entities get out and they win.
Unknown entry. Please clarify. Void entry?
Void entities, like things that come from... Never mind.
Disregarding query.
Are you not able to replicate a suit like we have?
Confirmed. Unfortunately, the replication facility, the manufacturing facility, is located within the medbay. The travel distance from cryogenics to medbay would prove fatal.
And you instructed to print one and we'll just take it down there?
Access to the cryogenics facility is restricted.
Are we able to get to within a section of unrestricted territory that will provide it with enough time to put it on without causing severe catastrophic tissue damage?
Revealing calculation may reveal location of cryogenics facility.
Yes or no? I'm not looking for you to tell me.
Classified.
Does it increase the percentage from 0?
Negative.
There's way too much radiation. Like, it's going to be an instantly lethal dose.
If we're the architects that built this place, why can't we access the classified stuff?
You require elevated privileges. Please present privilege crystal.
I just show him the crystal that we have.
That is a experimental translation crystal. This is not a security access crystal. If you believe that this is in error, please speak to your security officer.
Look, we got an hour and a half before we got now hour 15 before we got to leave. We got to give it a go.
All right, I'm gonna go and see if I'm gonna go and look at the outside and see if I can figure out how long it will take to actually fix.
Sure thing.
I will be following.
Okay, thank you. I was going to ask, could I either have my gun back or preferably have someone watch my back?
We'll be watching your back, all right. Maybe not for the same reasons.
Okay, look, just I wouldn't say happy, but I will accept you keeping a gun trained on my back at all times, as long as you also use that gun to protect me should the need arise. Please.
Deal.
Thank you. I will go outside and inspect using the schematics that. Oh, do you have a way of me inspecting these schematics whilst outside?
You've got one. You've already picked up one of the data pads, so it will just ping it across to the data pad, and it kind of pops up in a semi holographic.
Oh, this is cool. I want one of these. I have one of these. Lovely. And then I'll go outside and I'll use it to.
I'll just cock my rifle, and it's a pulse rifle thing.
Cool.
I got a toy. You might as well have one.
So Chip, I will need a.
Could I argue that this is what I built the character for?
To assess that, yeah.
I will happily say that because it's an alien system,
So
I
what
don't get my specialization, and I probably get a penalty.
So for the initial assessment, which won't take any time, you're not going to be penalised for this. Can I just have an intelligence investigation check?
Ah, fuck.
Can I make that as well?
Yep. So this is to compare the schematics. So I appreciate this isn't like this will not have a time penalty. This is just to give you a rough estimate. Otherwise, what you'll have to do is begin the repair, and then you'll have a more accurate estimate of how long it's going to take.
Okay.
I'll put willpower into this.
Oh, I should have bumped willpower into this because
You-
because I'm untrained in investigation, I'm only rolling one dice.
I need to check the what do you call it? The text of the edge I've got. Well, no, merit I've got, because. Okay, third that's gonna get 2 special DC. Yeah, fine. Yeah, I'm just very, very good at intelligence investigation. 5 successes.
Okay. So there has been significant damage. It is a complex repair. You are looking for a critical success in the crafts roll.
Yep.
Based on your critical success in the investigation, you overcome. So not only do you overcome the negative of working with an unknown technology, there will be a +1 to any crafts, the repair check needed to repair the system.
Okay.
If multiple people work on it, can we?
Yeah, I might make this it will be kind of a group check, but if one of you fails, that doesn't bring everyone down. It just means that you don't contribute.
Are we able to make an assessment of, even if we are successful, like roughly how long we think this will take? How much of our time will this eat into?
So to do it within, it will take an hour. If you get a perfect success.
Oh,
Ooh, you cut out,
your
Mike.
microphone's gone. Yeah. Can you hear us?
Mike, we can't hear you. Your microphone's cut out.
Phone's running out of power.
Oh, we can hear Mike again, but we can hear everything else.
Tenterhooks.
I've just found out you can actually click willpower. Oh, yeah, we can hear you again. Lovely.
Sorry, very, very occasionally, the control box for my headset will just crash, and I have to pull the cables out and get it to reboot.
So it is a crafts intelligence then?
Yeah, crafts intelligence. So if you do it perfectly, you'll be able to do it within the hour, which will allow you maybe 5 more minutes within the facility to ask any final questions you've got before you have to return to the portal.
Yeah.
Okay, I am spending everything on this.
Reasonable.
I'm not.
So, yeah.
What sort of check is this?
So this is the intelligence crafts.
2 successes from me.
Oh, come on. 15 dice using all my willpower, and I only got 2 successes.
So I have 3 intelligence, but 0 crafts, so that will take me down to 0, because it's a -2 penalty.
Oh,
Could I
that
dump
that
2 willpower into that to bring it up to 6?
Yeah, so if you spend 2 willpower, it will bring it up to 6. Yeah.
Let's do that. I've got tons of willpower.
Ooh.
oh
There you go.
So, Chip, you make an admirable attempt, but you were just flustered by the technology.
And the gun trained on
And the
your
gun
body.
in the back, yeah.
Yeah, doing repairs at gunpoint is not. You like things within your lab, within your own space, without the danger of lethal radiation and gunfire. But life is made of lots of little surprises. However, as time passes, everyone chips in, and you successfully manage to repair the system. And as you close the panel, you can hear a slight hum, and you start to then notice that there's like a slight shimmer around the edge of the base, almost as if a particular reflection unit is starting to come back online. You're still right within it, so you can
Mike, you've suddenly
navigate
gotten a bit quieter.
what, from my mic?
Oh yeah, that's better.
Is that better? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've probably just jogged. the
Right,
mic.
should we go inside then?
Yep.
No worries.
Hopefully, they are not going to be sacrificed anymore.
Sorry, if there's going to be 30 seconds, I'm just going to grab a drink of water very quickly because my mouth's got really parched.
Sure thing. Yeah, so this character isn't one you're meant to kill, Joe.
That's honestly why I have reacted the way I have, yeah. Plus, while Mike's out the room, I'm totally going to serial kill someone later to make up for it.
You say is or isn't?
This is not a character I designed to die.
Noted.
Do you know why your character might be 50% human?
I have my suspicions.
Okay. But that's not something that you planned in. No comment?
It's iffy.
Yeah.
Like, I gave Mike a backstory,
Mm.
and I have my suspicions as to how he's interpreted that.
Yeah.
We'll see how it shakes out, I guess.
Yeah. Rolling intelligence investigation is just a good fucking time for me.
I think I'll be taking points out of academics and putting those into investigation after this initial test run.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Okay, so yeah, let's go back in there and see if that's enough to for the computer to not kill all those people in cryopods. I think we've got to preserve as much of this as we can.
If they're the last humans in the war. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
So you re-enter, and he goes, "Welcome back, architects. Power has been restored back to 100%. Paytax unit is online, venting radiation. Thank you, architects."
Now, you mentioned this your project was this gigantic cultural database meant to preserve the culture and history of this world. Yes.
Confirmed. Project Axery is a hibernation project designed to wait out the storm, a cut-down version of the Immortal project after its discontinuance during the early stages of the war.
Sorry, is that after Immortal was discontinued in the early stages?
Correct.
So, is this an alternate universe?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yep.
Interesting.
This is if they'd gone down the Project Doralis route instead.
Yeah, where they tried to make humans. Yeah. Oh man, once they got hold of Aishna, it was all over. Yeah.
Okay. It's a hibernation project, but presumably there's also databases full of catalogued information, right?
Confirmed. Held at a secondary site.
Secondary site. Okay. Can you?
How much of your memory banks can you clone onto the devices we have active in 5 minutes?
Approximately 0.001%.
Do it.
Cloning. Please stand by.
Anything's better than nothing.
Please include topographical maps indicating location of secondary site where the cultural databases are
All
found.
further sites are classified.
Fuck.
Can you include any star maps?
Star maps were not included within the database.
Medical data about humans.
Transferring medical data about humans. Storage
Do you
data full.
Do you have any image of the night sky at all?
historical archives 1 entry found, and it will transfer the data.
It's gonna give us a fucking planetarium, don't. Like, if you're talking cultural, historical, it's gonna be a planetarium. Brilliant.
How long? Once we remove this device from the facility, how much power will it have, and how long will that last?
Approximate charge of data pads will last 72 hours without charge.
Well, Riddle'll be back from the dentist, and he's good with this kind of thing. So
I can see about trying to convert their power supply to something that will work with these as well. Maybe extend it beyond the 72 hours. But, I need to be back in my lab for that, and I feel like time has probably run on because we were up there for quite a bit.
I think we better go.
hey, when the humans, when they wake up, tell them good luck.
Confirmed. Wake up entry amended. Thank you, architects. Would you like to supply your names for the record?
Detective Sergeant Lucas King.
Entry added.
Simon Sinclair.
Entry added.
Charles Hawkins.
Entry added. Thank you, architects.
No worries. Right, we gotta move.
Yep. I think I've definitely been here long enough. I'm starting to itch.
Good luck,
You both.
architects. As usual, beware of all gods.
I went to Catholic school, mate. You don't have to tell me.
Query, what is Catholic school?
You don't want to know. Yeah, and then head back to the.
Keeping an eye out for any gods on the way.
Yeah, so, yeah, the loud explosions that you heard, yeah, the war is still raging on, but nowhere anywhere close to this. So you are not in danger of, because that would be a pretty shitty thing to do. Say, you've been murdered, try again.
Lol, you got killed by angels. Who'd do that? Who would do that to a person?
So yeah, you return. There are some audio entries. For the brevity of time, what I will do is I will write them up and then I will add them to the chat.
I think I will send Simon through first because, as we previously discussed, Lucas thinks that Simon is more important than anyone else. I'll motion Chip through, and if I could have a little narrative moment.
Of course.
I think the camera sees Lucas pull up the ancient blaster gun and pull the trigger, and it doesn't work because it's out of power. And then Chip is already through.
Oh. Yay. So, yeah.
I feel like I should roll perception to see if I hear the click of the trigger being pulled, but nothing happening.
You are certainly welcome to try.
Okay. Oh, I just rolled that privately.
That's fine. So, with that number, I will tell you that from when you threw the objects through, you saw them go through, but there was never any sound. So, regardless of what you may or may not have rolled, you would not have heard any sounds, as you've already gone through the portal.
Okay.
Yeah, you are very heavily decontaminated, and then you are given a debrief. How much of your exploration do you share?
All of it.
Yeah, is the debrief
Lucas
individual or public or group?
It'll be as a group, and then it will be as a group. But there's also an opportunity if you want to share anything privately as well.
I think Lucas will share everything that he knew there.
Interesting.
I think he will, though. He's coming at it from the perspective of he thinks this is a world where, even if it's not our world, it is a world where the void entities like Chet and Chet's daddy or whoever that was.
Desolation,
yeah, that kind of thing. I think he thinks that what the servers refer to as gods are the void entities, and that world is what happens if they win. And yeah, I think his fervor does not decrease, put it that way.
Yeah.
Chip is going to talk mostly about the amazing technology they had, about how they, he saw them 3D print a medical bag, which he brought back so that they could have a look at the medical devices, the medical equipment contained therein, and see if there was any new interesting discoveries to be found there.
Perfect.
There's also all the kit that was brought back that he's very excited to get to work on. He is not intentionally going to bring up the fact that he was registered as only 50% human, but he imagines that the others will.
Simon doesn't mention it in the group interview, but he will absolutely flag up some paperwork to say start monitoring.
I genuinely think that because of the relationship we've established between Lucas and Simon, Lucas asks Simon what Simon thinks he should do, and then if Simon is doing paperwork, then he assumes that's the correct thing to do.
Excellent. This is incredibly interesting. Each world is so very, very different from the last. I have released the case files from the others, and they'll be winging your way to your emails momentarily when I finish writing them.
You got it.
Yeah, there's already one written that I'll reveal in just a second.
Ooh.
But he will hold Lucas back for a second once the others have left, and he goes, I noticed you were particularly worried about the void entries and the result that they can spell for the world. I know that your employment here has been turbulent, and whatever intentions you had when you first joined may still exist, but perhaps we could work towards a common goal towards halting these void entities. Is that a particular role that would interest you?
Is this Keith?
Yeah, this is Keith. Yeah.
Come play the good little soldier boy, aye.
Perfect. I will notify
I'm not
you.
gonna fucking trust you.
No, you don't have to. But I will send some interesting assignments your way. And then he'll walk out and he'll say, right. Well. Yeah.
Chip, during Chip's private debrief.
Yep.
He'll mention, the computer there registered me as only 50% human, which that whole thing with the organs that I told you about before, I think when that thing stabbed me, that might be part of it.
Possibly.
I mean, I don't really know what happened there.
You also said it could have been the radiation levels as well, right?
Yeah, it could have been.
I wouldn't worry about it. It's probably a machine and the radiation levels. You are welcome to make an insight check if you wish.
Hell yeah! What skill is that?
That is that's composure and I think that's composure and empathy.
I rolled 4 dice and didn't get a single success.
Yeah. As far as you can tell, he genuinely believes it's a radiation glitch.
Oh, I was real worried there.
No, don't worry. You're perfectly fine. We'd let you know if we had any concerns.
Of course, thanks.
That's okay. Yeah. Yes. I'm sure we'll have another assignment for all three of you, and of course, Riddle once he recovers from appendicitis. So.
Wait, you're sending me back out there? I assume this is all when we're back in part of the main group again.
Yeah. Of course, you did excellently. I'm excited to see what you'll do in the future. All excited to see what you'll do in the future.
I don't want to come face to face with those things again.
Oh, don't you worry. It'll be completely different.
What say we go for a cup of tea up in the refectory and have a talk?
Who's that aimed at? Sorry.
Simon and Chip.
Yeah, I need some food.
Yeah, of course.
Let's.
And he'll Keith will.
Yeah. I assume that can happen off camera, but yeah. I'll tell you one thing though.
Yes.
With Lucas having been robbed of some slaughter, and also feeling extremely sort of dirty, having agreed to take on fucking wet work missions for the agency. I got a little hankering for some extracurriculars there, Mike.
Oh no.
Permission?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, please have some rope to hang yourself with.
Of course, I would never
So-
stop handing out rope.
I need to take 4, 3, 2 willpower, which is all of my willpower, plus it's an asset skill, so it's these dice
Very nice.
with 9 again. Which is 6 successes and 4 rerolls. That is another 2 10s. So 8 successes on my telltale murder.
Lovely.
Rich, who do you think Simon is pointing Lucas at?
Just have some petty revenge, like maybe someone who
That's
like
so
is
much worse than political game. Just someone you don't like. It's so fucking good.
He used the last pack of post-its.
No, I think it's whoever decided to assign us to this cube exercise. Like someone,
Yeah.
like some middle manager was like, "Oh, yeah, these guys are free today. Let's."
Yeah, like Lucas gets, the familiar brown envelope on the steering wheel.
Yep.
And then, quite unrelated, a middle manager for the company is the tragic victim of an unsolved mugging in let's say Fulham. Yeah. Near his house, just on the way to the Sainsbury's. Yeah.
Maybe because I'm extra petty, I put on the note like, "Don't give him time to react."
Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet.
Lovely. And I have made my rolls, so...
Need
And there-
9 successes on an investigation to work out that I have faked a murder.
Yep. We will see how that goes. But yeah, well, I think we will call that there
Tremendous,
as
Mike. Tremendous.
excellent. Yes, I'm glad I regained my energy to run this. So I need to now create another emergency session. But but yes, cool.
Perfect.
This has been a pleasure to run. So I'm glad.
And what a joy to play.
Mm.
I think
I think-
I quite like Chip. I've come to.
I think Chip's superb. Just eating toast.
Oh yeah, he goes up, gets when we go sit down for a chat, and you're getting tea and everything. He just stacks up a plate full of toast, gets a big pot of strawberry jam or something, spreads it all over the toast, and just like almost compulsively just nomming down on these
Whatever.
fruit preserves.
Builder's tea, white, no sugar.
Yeah.
Simon?
Like whatever reason that is causing this 50% human thing, was it your original intention not to reveal this until like a little bit further down the line than first session?
Well, I didn't know that Mike was going to say that I was only 50% human anymore.
If you have some kind of like void parasite or something where you've been stabbed and you got to take, you literally do have just an alien tapeworm. I'm gonna laugh so hard.
There
mean,
is
Weirdly,
a
I think if
chance
that was
it's-
the case, there is nothing you could do that would make Lucas trust you more than survive that happening.
I mean, well, I will happily tell you what I will happily tell you now.
Yeah.
That we sit down, we're having some toast, and you sit down and you go, right. You said again, go. It's like, I mean, in my hometown, I went into the woods. I've been building this stuff for ages. I went into the woods. I found this weird well under a tree. Went down there, and then I found this big figure made out of organs and insides. And there are a whole bunch of couples that had mysteriously eloped from the town over the last decade, 2 decades, longer than I've been alive. And I found them in various states of harvesting and decomposition. That was great fun. I'm sorry, Loki. He's just wolfing down toast whilst for comfort, whilst also talking, trying to get it all out before he cowards his way out of the whole thing.
Gotcha.
And it's like, yeah, and then the thing like stabbed me, and then I kind of passed out, and when I woke up, it was gone.
Right. Noted.
Yeah,
Welcome
that's
to
the
scene.
most traumatic thing I've ever experienced, and I'm still in therapy about it.
I had to go to therapy.
Did
My
it take?
partner up in Merseyside, there were a couple of unis got sent over to investigate this house. There've been disturbance calls about. They went in, one of them came out melted. Called in me and my partner, we are AFOs, so went in with a bit more ordnance, investigate the place, there were fucking plants and this fucking bird with I don't know, acid vomit stuff.
When you say bird, do you mean like a flat?
Woman.
Okay.
Slotted there, but she killed my partner, so yeah. That's why these things need to go.
Well, I found that the things that I make, like they found me because of I was building this stuff, this equipment, just privately. The agency found me because I was building this stuff privately, and then I had a bit of a homemade kit that I think kind of saved my life down there in the
So
well.
you started building it before your encounter.
Yeah. In fact, it was this. I built this weird detector to measure background electromagnetic radiation, and I was getting these weird readings that shouldn't have been possible. So I kind of like fashioned the whole thing into a backpack, and then I tracked it down to that well. And when I went in there to have a look, that was where I found the thing with just had 2 pulsing hearts where its eyes should be. And then it just punched me with a finger made out of a spinal column or something. But it also got the backpack, which shorted out. But I think that thing drove it away whilst I just passed out from shock.
So there might be traces of its DNA still on you.
Maybe, I hope not. I've been checked out.
By us or by a generic?
By the agency. They did give me the once over, and they said that everything was fine.
Maybe get them to run a blood panel on you.
Am I able to get like some paperwork? Like, did they just tell him he's fine, but actually there's like a entry somewhere for him?
Ah, what a good question. So this would be like bureaucratic intimidation, which I believe is yours.
It's your favourite flavour.
And I have a merit for it as well.
Yeah, so for sure it's manipulation. Where's your merit? Is that under intimidation? Or is that
+2 to all social and mental roles made to manipulate, navigate, or work a bureaucratic system.
Cool. So,
you're a bureaumancer.
I like the way you work it.
Either
No
manipulation and intimidation if you're trying to brute force your way to it, or manipulation and subterfuge if you're attempting to steal the information but obscure it in bureaucracy.
Oh, absolutely subterfuge.
Okay.
I'm about to see a truly tremendous amount of dice rolled, aren't I?
And given this is probably the last roll of the session, could I dump some willpower into it?
No. I already used mine to murder a guy.
Is that it, yeah?
Sorry. So have I missed? Sorry.
If this is the last roll of the session, could I dump willpower into it?
Yeah. Sure thing. Yeah, and I think this will be the. Yeah.
Apologies.
Wow.
I had
That is-
3 willpower, so that was 9 plus the merit of 2. 10 actual people.
Wait, is a willpower 3 extra dice?
Yes.
Oh, I only rolled 5.
So
I should have rolled 15 extra dice earlier. And you only got 2 successes from.
Yeah. You managed to do everything successfully, so we're luckily not going to have to retcon. So, okay. So, blood tests and psychological evaluations and EMF readings, the whole gamut, all come back as human. There's a slightly more in-depth report that is primarily an incident report that I will write up, but it corroborates the story that you've just been told.
Who is it written by?
So
The guy that was just killed in Fulham.
so
Will be killed in
Will be killed in Fulham.
So the physical tests and stuff are done by an intake officer. The actual mission report it suspiciously has been left blank. So it bears all the official makings, but it appears that the incident report was written by a classified operative. So they're highly trusted, but their name is not going to appear on things. So a pseudonym is given, but given your position already within the company, you know that this is a placeholder for a secret asset that is highly trustworthy, but does a lot more black hat stuff. So they are closer towards a hunter. But
as in
like,
as in a wad hunter.
yes.
Yeah. I got you.
But yeah, as far as you can tell, he does indeed appear to be a normal, regular human. There are concerns about the touch by the void entity, which is partially why he's been brought along, been brought deeper within the fold to keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
But there are no concerns. It's more of a scientific curiosity. But there's been no displays of behavior that warrant suspicion. It's almost a curiosity that there isn't an anomaly. They're like, oh, what's the secret? Has something he's built done something cool here, or does he have an immunity to the void? So they're working several different angles, but they haven't managed to find anything as of yet.
I think with that revelation, I mean, I never claimed Lucas as a stable guy, and I think with that revelation that Chip is a survivor rather than someone who might be working, I think his opinion of him swings like the whole other way as well. Yeah. He doesn't trust him as much as Simon, but he probably trusts him as much as he trusts Riddle. Yeah.
Do you kind
I
of
think
worship the
Simon-
ground Simon walks on a little bit?
Lucas has some daddy issues.
But for Simon, is Chip asset or dangerous asset? I think you've been bumped down to just asset now rather than dangerous asset.
Where does Lucas sit?
Dangerous asset, but not dangerous to Simon.
Yeah. Sweet. Oh, fucking great session, man.
Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely.
Yeah. I had fun running it, so yeah. I'm glad you've enjoyed it as well. Right.
Sweet.
Recording. We will end it there.
Marvelous.